Hi, this is Rob Mitchell with the Oil Trading Room, and I'd like to cover today with you some of our signals that we use in the room. I'd like to share with you how some of those work and some of the percentages that are behind them. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these patterns that were provided by room members. Before we do that, first off, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There is a risk of loss trading futures. Always use risk capital in your trading so that you can trade the process and not get caught up in trading the money, which often doesn't go well. This is a table provided by one of our room members that gives some of the various signals that we use in the room and the success rate associated with them and the average maximum excursion that occurs off of those. This room member did this in May and June, and we've continued to do these more casually since that time. But the most steady of the patterns, one of them is the T1 pattern with a T2 and a T2 with a T1. These are just different names that we call these different trades. The T2 being one of our more bread and butter trades on which many of these others are based. And so I'm going to just scan through some charts and just let you take a look at some of these signals and how they've set up and how you can get caught in some big trades from time to time as the day goes on. Now these trades on this particular chart are actually from, I believe that's, yeah, so what I've done is I've marked the signals on the charts for the last 15 days or so, last 15 trading days. And these are the T2 signals. And so those are identified here on what we call the smart momentum. And I've just marked these out for you. And these are patterns that you can learn in the training in the room. And then we use that in conjunction with our trap trader oscillator that shows us where traders are trapped on the wrong side of the market. When you use these two tools in conjunction with one another, the smart momentum itself is based on expanding cycles in the market. One of the first things I learned in trading was that cycles tend to expand before the range expands. And then the other tool that we use, that's this one here in this plot, the trap trader oscillator, tells us when traders are getting on the wrong side of the market or when the market's very, very strong. When the market goes through two prior levels, as it's done here, for example, it's gone through this one here and it's gone through this one here, you'll tend to find the trading going in the opposing direction. When that lines up with the range expansion probability that we get from the smart momentum, and you have two dimensions of trading, both the order flow and the expansion of cycles lining up on your side. These are just consecutive days going back, showing the signals. So on choppy days it works as well, but of course not as well as you do when you get caught in trending days. The way we teach these patterns in the room is we provide resources in your members area for you to be able to identify these on your own. And then I come in the room for a couple hours each day and reinforce that learning for you and expand your learning in that way. And so it's somewhat like a college classroom environment. If you do the work and you do the homework and you attend the lectures, then you get the benefits of getting caught in these trades during the periods of range expansion. On days where the market's just moving sideways, very often you're not going to do as well. And then on days where you get the expansion, things just line up in your favor more and more. So what are some of the benefits of the trading room? Well, you can learn high probability price action patterns that become a part of your consciousness. The way that we do the teaching is basically installing these patterns and the knowledge of them and the awareness of them into your consciousness so that you can operate from an empowered standpoint. Anybody who's good at something is able to do that activity unconsciously without having to think about it a lot. And that requires being, number one, inside your own head, and number two, not having to be aware of many, many things. I was just showing you a few minutes ago our trap trader oscillator, for example. This was the culmination of many years of understanding, of looking at order flow and having it just be exhausting to me. I can't keep track of 5, 6, 7, 8 things all at once. And what we did was we coded this up so it helps to keep track of all those things just by a simple visual observation. That's that trap trader oscillator, and so we teach the patterns of the trap trader oscillator and the smart momentum that go in alignment with price action patterns. We have a lot of really incredible traders in the room, including the trader that did all the statistics that we looked at on the table above, many of those being above 80% win rate to the tune of well more than 10 ticks each. So in alignment with that, even when I'm not in the room after a couple hours, we have just wonderful world-class traders who are sharing their insights and their methods and their research and ideas that they have in the room. So the room's a wonderful sharing environment from that perspective. Another thing that you'll learn in the room is how to predict and understand trends, and the range expansion is another way of saying trend, and the targeting that is associated with it. And we also have a number of other stats that we use that can help you to filter the trades even more, sometimes hitting win percentages that are way up in the 90th percentile. Of course, this will take some time for you to get under your belt because, as I mentioned before, it's an installation into your consciousness. So get into the room with the spirit of wanting to learn and just take it one step at a time and follow the guidelines that I give you. I've had many hundreds of traders have learned these methods in the room, and just take it one step at a time and it'll work out for you in a wonderful way. Benefit from the Smart Patterns trading system and its thousands of hours of member use and refinement, which is really what this is all about. And benefit also from special content geared around personal development and personal growth that's critical to your development as a trader. The way you think as a trader has a huge impact on your result. And so it's not just following a method, but you have to have your thinking in a place also that is in alignment with your goal. And so we work on those kinds of things as well at a deep and profound level. I'd like to thank you for joining me today for this presentation. I look forward to having you join us in the oil trading room and become a part of the wonderful development that's going on there, and being a part of the growth of the room, and also being a part of your growth, and in turn also my growth, because I learn more from you sometimes than you do from me just by you asking the questions and learning the methods. And so it's a really wonderful process, and I'm just very, very grateful every day to be able to have you come join us in the room and be part of that. So looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you. Thank you.